I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
The mayor this morning when I walked in, I said, Mayor, this is going to be transforming generation of people in the region and obviously in the city. As you've heard from the Prime Minister on this decision to establish a complete EV ecosystem here in Canada, including an EV assembly plant and a new standalone EV battery manufacturing facility, is a big win not only for Alliston, it's a big win for Ontario, but it's also a big win for Canadians. It speaks to our country competitiveness, as you've heard from the Deputy Prime Minister. It speaks about the strength of our supply chain, and it represents yet another strong vote of confidence in Canada's auto sector and our future as a global leader in clean technologies. En effet, after Ford,
GM, Stellantis, Northvolt, and Volkswagen, it's now Honda that turns towards Canada to manufacture its next generation of EVs. We're talking about 240,000 vehicles produced here in Alliston. These investments are once-in-a-generation investment. All the planet is targeting zero-emission. Investors are looking towards Canada. It's been more than 100 years. The car industry in Canada is the engine of the manufacturing system in Canada. We create good jobs, well-remunerated, well-paid.
This is about Canada punching above its weight. This is about Canada leaning and winning on the international stage. This is about our Canadian workers and Canadian talent. Because as we all know, and the Prime Minister said it when he started, at the end of the day, this is all about people. Talent make us win. The auto workers of Honda make us win, and today, it's their big victory. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, let's seize the moment that we have in front of us. Let's be ambitious, and let's build this EV car of the future right here in Canada. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I have the great pleasure to introduce my partner, the one which I go everywhere around the world and across Canada to make sure that we build the best future for this generation and future generation. Mr. Federley, the floor is yours, my friend.
I think, Paul, you know that, eh? That was the worst. It's the worst job to follow Francois all the time. Konnichiwa. 75 years ago, Honda Motor Company was incorporated in Japan. A year later, they introduced their first originally designed and engineered car. In 1959, American Honda Motor Company landed in LA at their first overseas facility. In 1986, as you've heard, Honda opened this facility here in Alliston, the very first Japanese auto manufacturing plant in Canada. First car built, the Honda Accord. 2 years later, the start of something beautiful that keeps delivering, building the three-door Honda Civic right here. Then the Acura, followed by new plant for the Odyssey, then the Acura SUV and the Pilot in 2002. Then came your Ridgeline, built exclusively here in Alliston. And then, of course, the CR-V. The two best-selling Honda vehicles are now built for Canadians by families right here in Alliston. And we are here. We're here today with another landmark moment in Honda's legacy. Honda President and CEO Mibe-san, Ozawa-san, Miyamoto-san, President Leclerc, Prime Minister, Premier, Ambassadors, Consuls General, colleagues and friends. Thank you, Honda. Thank you for continuing to put your faith in the people here in Alliston and for continuing to make your investments right here in Ontario. As you've heard from many speakers, we're at a turning point in automotive history as we move from 125 years of combustion engines now to battery electric vehicles. These decisions are not made easily, and they take time. In fact, our first discussion, as you've heard, about EVs was in Tokyo almost 2 years ago. And the one thing we all knew going into this, it was going to be all about relationships. because Honda already knew
I know Matt is
Ontario
not the
had
Conservative Party of Canada's
exceptional
forte.
talent.
And the
right
budget
here,
will
these
balance
exceptional
itself.
workers in
So,
Alliston. They prove that every single day.
How many scandals do you think Trudeau has
Here
had?
in
I have another
Alliston,
video over here
and for
showing how
continuing
many,
to make your
and it is a lot.
investments
And
right
I
here
think
in
shame needs
Ontario.
to be brought back into Canada
you've
because
heard from
he
many
has no
speakers, we're at a
shame
turning point
anymore, and
in
I think it
automotive
just
history
trickles down
as
to
we move
everyone
from
underneath him. And that's what's really
125
frustrating about Trudeau.
years
And
of
as far as an
combustion
election is
engines
concerned,
now to
obviously there
battery
should have been one a
electric
year ago. But do you think
These
it'll really be in
decisions
October
are not
2025?
made
Because
easily,
his steam, like
and
all
they
he has to
take
do
time.
is smile,
In fact, our first
and for the
discussion, as
camera,
you've heard,
go on his
about
vacations.
EVs was
There's
in
going to be a
Tokyo
new love
almost
in
2
his
years
life
ago.
coming up,
The
probably
one
because
thing
he's
we
so
all knew going
he has
into
to
this,
because he needs to
it
take
was
attention away
going
from
to
himself.
be
Anyway,
all
let me
about
know in the comments what you think. Let's go back to the video.
because Honda already knew Ontario had the exceptional talent. Right here, these exceptional workers in Alliston. They prove that every single day. So thank you to the workers in Alliston. Honda knew that Ontario had the land, the clean energy, the EV ecosystem, the critical minerals. All of those boxes are checked right here in Ontario. But again, it all comes down to people, to those relationships. And I got to tell you, once you make that pivotal move, that moment that happens when you stop working across the table in sales and you start sitting side by side as partners, well, then the deal just becomes easy. But I got to be honest, it doesn't hurt to have Premier Ford, the best closer on the planet, sitting at that same table. To Mibe-san, it was a pleasure working with your team, whether on our many trips to Tokyo or right here in Ontario. They were true professionals and represented Honda in a way that you should be extremely proud of. Ozawa-san, Miyamoto-san, you were great negotiators, and seeing as you were repeat visitors to the Premier's home, I guess that makes us great friends. Jean-Marc, congratulations. You have straddled that line between being a Honda president, wanting the best for your company, and being a proud Canadian and wanting the best for your country. That is not an easy feat, my friend, but you did it in your customary, casual way. So to the people of Alliston, we thank you for doing such a great job for all of these decades. Your pride in producing the finest automobiles made our job so much easier. Thank you, Honda. Our real work starts today. Arigato.
I'm really excited about this, and I got to give another big shout out to the associates and the workers here in Alliston. Let's give them another big round of applause. All right. Thank you and hello everyone. I want to begin by thanking Honda and your long-term commitment to Ontario, which we are truly, truly grateful for, as well as Premier Ford and Minister Fedeli, Prime Minister Trudeau, Deputy...
I know Matt is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
Prime Minister and Finance Minister, my counterpart, Minister Freeland, and of course, Minister Champagne, the Tsiga de Shawinigan, as I like to call him.
And is Chrystia Freeland doing a good job? She is the Finance Minister and the Vice President of Canada. And she is the one that just looks like her head is just spinning when she talks. It's always like trying to drag it on, never answer a question. And maybe they should have this I thought they would always do this. When they ask a question, say, do you mind after you finish it, if you give me 5 seconds to say if you answered it or not for our listeners? Because it is so frustrating. Everything is an infomercial with both of them. And that's something that I think needs to be stopped. Maybe the whole Constitution and the human rights and everything needs to be rewritten again after those two are gone, because this is just frustrating what they're doing. Anyway, let's go back to the video.